Hi and welcome to another video on my channel. I am the autistic artist and today I want to talk about how to react and things to not or to say when someone tells you that they are autistic. So first let's start with the things and the reactions that are just not going to make you both go into the right direction, that are hurtful and that just leave us autists with no way to react or no wish to further interact with you. First, and what every autist heard like a million times, is some kind of, but we are all on the spectrum, we are all autistic, everyone is a little bit autistic and stuff like that. While I can understand the reason behind this and why you might want to say that to someone, it has not the impact that you want it to have. So I'm not going to feel like, oh, I'm not alone, or that you and I aren't that different. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that I have a disability, that I'm struggling in this world, and that there is something that is in fact different about me. And that's not horrible and that's not bad as you might think. I'm okay with that, and most autists are too. It's just a way to describe ourselves and to be accepted in the way we are. And when you tell us, but everyone is a little autistic, then you are taking that away from us. Then you're saying we are, in fact, not that different and we don't deserve to be accepted as different. And that being different is important for us because it is a way to explain to others why we react in a different way, why we need breaks in weird situations that aren't like stressful or hard to you. And telling someone that we are autistic is a tool for us, is a way to not have to say like things are different and it's hard to explain and this is overwhelming for me, and then most people are like, don't be so sensitive and stuff like that. And when you are able to say, I am autistic, I'm different than you, I struggle with different things, and this is one of them. I just need a break right now, and then I'll be right there and help you or whatever. And taking that tool away from us can leave you so hopeless, and so please don't ever say that. The next thing that I was told when I was telling someone that I'm autistic was their reaction was kind of defensive, like, what is that good for? What do you want that? And why did you really need to go that path? And what do you have from that diagnosis? It felt to me like someone wasn't acknowledging my struggle and I'm telling them a diagnosis. I went to a psychologist, I went to a few doctors and I talked with them, and I really went to experts and went through all of this and made sure that what I am struggling with and the way I feel is actually under the whole autism spectrum. And that was hard and it was so worth it. And when I'm coming forward and telling you I finally got that diagnosis, just telling me like, what is that even good for? Like I struggled so much and you are acting like that is useless or you don't understand what and why and everything. I can understand that when you haven't really went into the whole autism spectrum and don't know a lot about it, then you might feel like, why did you put a label on yourself? Why didn't you just exist the way you want? And as I explained a little earlier, it's just a tool for us to be able to communicate to the outer world. And it will help me when I'm working at jobs or when I want an assistance dog or stuff like that. It's a way that people listen to me better, because earlier on I always said, yeah, I might be autistic, and there's that thing that I react different to medications, or I was just like telling them that medication doesn't really work with me or stuff like that. And doctors weren't really listening. They were like, yeah, I'm probably self-diagnosed, listened to something in the internet and hasn't really gone to an expert. And they don't believe me, and then I have to suffer with the consequences. I still have, because autism isn't really that understood by a lot of doctors, unfortunately, which is part of why I'm doing this whole channel thingy. But it gets better, and I myself gained a lot of confidence by that expert telling me, yes, you are autistic. The struggles that you feel you're having are real, and there's an explanation for them. You are different. There are physical differences in your brain. You are not making anything up. You're not just trying hard enough, not hard enough. And that gave me so much confidence, and I learned to love myself, because I stopped telling myself, you are just not trying hard enough. And yeah, that was such a great relief. Now I can go to a doctor and really make sure I have that diagnosis, and I want you to look out for these and these things, because the medications just don't work the way they work for a neurotypical one. And that confidence combined with that actual diagnosis helps me as a huge tool medically and in so much more places. So that is very important. Moving on to the next one. When I told someone about the autism diagnosis, she was asking me, well, what does that mean now for you? Which is a valid question. Don't get me wrong, that's not the point. But when I was telling her things, she felt the need to, at every point that I told her, point out that she had something similar, or that isn't that bad, or stuff like that. And I get that maybe there was a struggle inside her, feeling very worried about me, or feeling not being able to process that this person in front of you has a lifelong diagnosis and a lifelong disability. So I understand where she came from, but I'm trying to tell her these are the things that I struggle with, and by making them sound not that bad, you're making me feel like I'm not hurt, and like that isn't that important, and it's important for me, and it's a huge struggle for me. Let's give you an example. With autism, there can come bendiness of your joints, and with that can come pain in your joints. And with being very sensitive to feelings, that can really be a struggle for you. And when I told this person that, she wanted to point out that she as a kid also had that, and when she grew up everything was better. And while there are many conditions that can lead to joint pain, it's probably not the same for us. Like, I'm talking about something that is coming with autism, and it's just not the right time to really talk about those things. Like, I'm specifically taking time to talk about me and my things, and throwing in your stuff and telling me how it got better or how it wasn't that bad isn't really helpful, especially if you're trying to tell me that you probably had something similar, but you say it wasn't that bad. This really makes me feel down and like I'm overreacting and stuff, and that's painful for me, and just not the right time to act like that. Moving on to the next one, and something that I really didn't imagine but apparently it happens, so I'm telling it to you now. I was told that even though I got that diagnosis and I was explaining that I'm different and that I have to solve problems in a different way, and that clubs, for example, overwhelm me and I'm not the huge party person, and I always thought I'm not trying hard enough, and now I know why, and that I just have to work with my body and with things that I struggle with, and so I just don't go to clubs anymore because it's loud and people are constantly touching me and bumping into me, and it's very, very overwhelming. Like, I get stressed just thinking about it. And I was telling that person all about that, and after that she proceeded to tell me how I should live my life. Like, she was like actually telling me, you still should pressure yourself to do this and that. I think that's a good idea. I think you should do this and that and things. And that's not the time, or that's not on you to tell me. And I think that is very, very important. And I think it's important to tell that person exactly that, because I'm going to experts. I'm seeking for help and talking about strategies and things with my experts. And I'm not asking you for help. And maybe I just even told or worked with myself and no experts at all. But I decided that I don't want to, for example, go to clubs because that's overwhelming for me. Then there's no reason to tell that person that she has to act in a different way. It's not on you to tell someone what they should do if they haven't asked you for that. It's always really hard to react to that because it's that person with so much personality and so much force on you that just doesn't leave any space for you. So those are all the examples for today. I might make another video later on. I just wanted to tell you, if you are not autistic but just interested in autism, or you know someone who has autism, then don't feel like you did everything wrong if you said some of those things. I can understand that there might be an overwhelmment when you get told this diagnosis from someone. It was overwhelming to us too. Just make sure, if you got told by someone or the next time they talk about it, to really listen to them. Make them just feel understood and accepted the way they are. Don't make it about you or anything else. Just listen to them, make sure they feel welcomed. And if, for example, like I did, I said, if you have any questions, just come to me, I'm happy to answer them, then that's the time to ask questions. And if you get those questions answered, don't try to make them less worth. Don't try to talk in a bad way about the things that the person told you. If that person told you that they stim a lot and that they like flapping their hands if they are excited, like I love to do that when I'm excited. If they open up to you, then that's a great thing. They feel like they are welcomed enough to do that. So just try and make sure that they know that. And if you said some of those things and now feel bad because you might have hurt that person, just go and talk to them. I'm sure that they will listen to you. If you, like, I know it's hard in our society, but if you feel like you did something wrong, just apologize. Like, if someone comes to me and says, what I did was wrong and I'm very sorry and I'm sorry if I hurt you, then that is so okay. Like, I'm glad that you came to me, and if you understand that you did something wrong and you tell me you know you did something wrong and they didn't want to hurt you in any way, then I'm fine with it. Like, that's everything I need from people. Mostly, maybe sometimes making up for their stuff. So apologize, talk to them, and do it better next time. We aren't perfect at all, no one is. So I think it will probably solve the whole issue. If not, give them time. Yeah, that's everything for this video. I hope you had a good time and it maybe made you feel understood or helped you in some way. And yeah, we will see each other next time. Bye!